Hi there, hi, welcome. Welcome to today. I'm jogging around because it's actually not quite as warm as what it needs to be to take your top off, even inside. Welcome everyone. Welcome to today's session. And what we're going to do today is we're going to create some heat. We're going to stretch our muscles and we're really going to focus in. Because one of the wonderful things about the practice of yoga is it helps us to come into that one-pointedness mindset. One direction, one target, one goal. All that multitasking, doing lots of different things is weak. One-pointedness, concentration and focus is strong. So when you're doing your yoga practice and you're like this, but you're thinking, oh, what shall I do later? Do you think they'll have texted me back by the time I've finished this? That is not the practice of yoga. That is making some shapes that look a bit like yoga shapes, but it's not the practice of yoga because the mindset isn't there. The focus, being able to do one thing at a time and concentrate on it and complete it. And that is something that we find very difficult in modern culture because we're so distracted all the time. The phone's always pinging. There's always something to think about. So let's just stop thinking for the next, let's do 15 minutes of no thinking, focusing on what we're doing, our breathing and our movement, how we can get into the body without backflipping across the front of the room. You don't have to be practicing yoga to backflip across the front of the room. You can be practicing yoga right now, watching this, focusing and concentrating. This is a practice of yoga. So we're going to start by just standing. So let's come together. Tadasana, mountain pose. And when you're standing there, you want to just make sure that you're not either slightly leaning forward or slightly slouching back, even if you don't realize it, the way the shoulders are like this, when they should really be like this, so that there's more space to breathe, and have a sense of lift here. We're always talking about this waistband, and about, it's not just that flabby waistband, but it's about this seeping ki, this energy that when we're slouching, it kind of gathers around there in this posture that you see that is very popular, but it's not normal. It's not normal to slouch. It's popular. Lots of people are doing it, but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Lots of people smoke cigarettes, but that doesn't mean that's a good thing either, does it? So standing there, and the feet, have your feet hip distance apart. So you measure that by your foot. The size of your feet and the width of your pelvis are in direct correlation with each other. So feet there, and let's just take a moment there to come into those feet. Very important piece of kit for yoga asana practice is your feet. Feel the sole of the foot, and then just take a moment to slightly lean forward so that you can feel that the weight is slightly into the toes. Over to one side, right side, back to the heels, over to the left, and then we're in the middle there. And we're just going to circle the arms around so that we're rotating those shoulders there as we bring the arms up and the palms are facing overhead. Take hold of the right wrist in the left hand and draw the right wrist over to the left, and you're predominantly breathing into the right side as you're making this banana shape, banana asana, on the side of the right side of the body. And as you do that, I want you to breathe into here. And as you inhale, you extend and lengthen all the way to the wrist. And when you exhale, pressing a little bit deeper down onto the right foot. Inhaling, expand, breathe into here. Exhaling, pressing down. One more inhale and exhale, come back to center. Ooh, the right side maybe feels a little bit longer than the left. Let's do it to the left. Holding the left wrist with the right arm, and we're making that banana. The hip slightly goes to the left side, a little bit more weight on the left foot, breathing into the left ribs. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, extend, stretch, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale back to center. Circle those arms around and bring them back down by your side. We're going to step the right foot forward. So you're going to step the foot forward, just one step. It's not a big lunge, just one step forward. Hands on the hips. And from there, just be aware that you haven't done that or that. Use the hands to level the hips up and level the shoulders up. Then you're going to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and point the elbows back so that when you go forward, you're holding the hips here, taking an inhale. And imagine I was pulling your t-shirt from here. Your neck is nice and long, so you're not doing anything here, and you're going forward from here, this marker. Elbows are pointing back, holding the hands in the hips position and going nice and forward, so that when you get to halfway, it's like you've got to hold that right hip because it wants to twist forward so that you end up in this kind of position. You want to hold it in position. The face is facing the floor. My elbows are pointing back because when we get the elbows like that, there can be a tendency to round the back. We want to keep it nice and straight. Keep going forward, keep moving, keep pulling from here. Don't think down, think long. Breathing there. Can really feel a nice juicy stretch in the back of the hamstring. Breathe in. Inhale, exhale, inhale from the feet, pressing down on the back heel and the front mount of the foot. Inhale back up, exhale, step the feet together. Other side, left forward, left foot down, hands on the hips. Again, just taking a moment to check that the hips are not doing this, that you're holding them in position. You're rolling the shoulders down the back and you're going, remember, I'm pulling you by the t-shirt. So you're going forward here. You're using the hands to stop this moving around. You're looking directly down at the floor. So you go forward and you just stop there when everything starts to collapse out of shape. You stop. Maybe for some people you can go all the way down. Breathing into the back ribs. Really juicy. The more you go forward and down, the more you get a nice stretch in the back here. Pressing down on the feet. Inhale fully, exhale fully, inhaling back up. Step the feet together. Woof, what a start. Feet wide. Extend the arms wide so that if you have a sense that the foot is underneath the palm. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Hands back on the hips. Roll the shoulders out the way again. Point the elbows back, same thing. Going forward from here. Bringing the chest forward, looking down, bring the fingers to the floor, and then lengthen the back forward so that you have a lovely straight back there. Fold a little bit deeper if you can with a straight back. Squeeze the mat between the heels. Keep the the right fingers there. Again, nice and long as you rotate the torso and look up at the left hand. Let's breathe there. Inhale and exhale, twisting the torso so that the chest and the navel are coming more to the side. Breathe 2. Inhale, extend, lengthen. Keep working through it. 3, 4, and then on 5 we're going to switch. That left hand comes down and it's going to swap with the right hand and you're going to rotate with that lovely. So you want the back to be long so that you're not rounding and curving the back. Nice straight back, nice rotation of the ribs and looking up at the right hand. 1. Inhale, keep moving through it, keep rotating. 2. Imagine my hands were on your ribs and I'm doing this. 3, 4, twist a little bit more on 5 and then exhale, bring the hand down, bend the knees, hands onto hips, coming up with that lovely straight back. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to switch the heels. So the heels are at a 45-degree angle and you're making a small bend here first. We look down at the knees and check that the knees are not collapsing in this kind of position, that they're tracking the line of the foot. So that again, chest is forward, back's nice and long and straight. You're bending the knees and only bend the knees as low as you can go without this starting to happen. Sliding the back down the wall, hands onto the inner thigh. So those thighs might be going, oh my goodness. Hold the inner thigh, press on the inner thigh of the left and twist the left shoulder to right knee. Stay nice and low, nice low back through the center, and now right shoulder, left knee. Stay nice and low through the center. Twist on the exhale. Inhale through center, twist. Inhale, this is nice and juicy, isn't it? Twist. Inhale, twist. 45 minutes later, this is something that you could do a lot. Twist, inhale center, keep the hands on the thigh, sit the seat nice and low, and we're coming up to goddess. Take 5 breaths there. See if you can lower a little bit more, but again without tipping forward. Only goes low, getting right in here. 3, 4, and on 5, you're straightening those legs up, extending the arms out, circling around and stepping to the front of the mat. Inhaling fully, exhaling fully. Come back to that lovely posture where the tail's pointing down. We're going to sweep the arms up again and then step back with the right leg. Power back through the right leg and then fold so that you're framing the front foot. Push back through that right leg so that that right leg is straight. You can really feel that lovely juicy thigh. We're doing this in the studio a lot this week. Left knees above left ankle. Take the hands off. Stay as low as you can. Keep the hands off. Take the right hand onto the right hip and open up that right hip out to the side. Extend the left arm forward, right arm back. Eyes are on the front middle finger. Breathing there. So that should feel quite low here. And I want you to work on the feet. Bring the forearm to the thigh. Extend. Now really, really press back on that heel. Don't leave that leg hanging. Extend. Inhale again, inhaling into your extend, stretch, open. Maybe you can look towards the ceiling and slightly lean back. 3, 4, and on 5, we're windmilling back to warrior 2, rotating around to high lunge, framing that front foot back to plank, knees down. Keep that tail up. Bend the elbows and just the chin in between the hands. Slide the legs back, cobra. Bum to heels, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Nice juicy stretch in the back of the thighs, and we're going to walk to the front of the mat, bringing the toes behind the wrists. Give it a shake. And then soften the knees and roll up. Circling the arms around. We're ready for the other side. That should already feel very strong. The key to this stretch, we want to stretch and strengthen these big muscles and get into, this is what it's all about, not in a pelvic thrust kind of way, but in more of a movement here. Pelvic thrust, you're just kind of, it's a whole different thing, a pelvic thrust. That's not what we're doing in yoga today. So let's come to the top of the mat again, sweep the arms up, step the left foot back, frame the right foot so that you're in lunge, pushing back through that left heel. Nice and stable and strong. So you take the hands off, stay low again. See, it's not that easy. Pressing back, take the hand onto the left hip, open up the left hip out to the side. Power back through that left heel, right arm forward, left arm back. Warrior 2. Low here. Resist, get in here, just give it a go. Resist the temptation to do that. Do that more. Forearm to thigh, extending the left side. Again, breathing here. This is where the breath is, so extensions, and then slightly lean back so that you can really feel it, really extending. Because a tendency, that's a good thing, that means I was really leaning back. The tendency is to slightly lean forward, and it makes it a little bit like that. Whereas we lean back, you've got more space. 3, leaning back, extending 4, 5, warrior 2, cartwheel down, step it back, knees down, tail up, chin in between the hands, cobra, downward facing dog. Don't make that downward facing dog so long that you're kind of a bit like this on high heels. Get the heels back so that it goes more of a V shape. And then walk the feet forward. Roll up. That's already a lot, isn't it? Just to get yourself moving. Get yourself ready for the disco. Now we're going to come into some focus with some balancing. Don't worry, it's not going to be handstands or anything exotic like that. Just standing on one leg. Lift the right leg off, hold the hips. Huh? Even if it's just a little bit off the floor. Most important point, check that you're not doing that. Or that. Or this kind of thing. Make this long so that you're really standing up. Lift the knee high so that you're really standing up. And press very gently down on the standing leg so that feels very stable. Yeah? You can also already feel that I'm feeling quite wobbly because I'm really focusing it. And let's just come to stillness here. Breathing. See if you can breathe into those ribs. 4. And then on 5, we're going to circle that knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring it. Try not to touch the ground, I was about to say. Lift the heel up nice and high. I've lost my focus now. Don't be like me. You focus. Let's take a moment. Gags are over, Mickey. Straight leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling into here. Exhaling out. Here we go, other side. Focusing in, no jerks this side. Inhale out, exhale back. Other way. You can't really do jokes and stand on one leg, can you? Bring the heel up nice and high. Extend out, 5. Really feeling it on that thigh, 4. You can even lift it up a little bit with the hands. 3, 2, 1. Inhale fully, exhale fully. We're going to flow down and finish off with a nice twist. Inhaling up, exhale, fold down. Inhale, extend, exhale, fold. Stepping back right, stepping back left, knees down. Chin in between the hands. Cobra, bum to heels. Downward facing dog. Jumping or walking into Malasana squat. It's always time for Malasana squat. Really good hip practice. You know, some days you wake up and you feel stiff. Other days you wake up and you're like, you don't feel stiff at all. How does that work? For another conversation. There's always time for a Navasana. Strengthening, holding here. Arms out. Breathing there. 1, or holding with a finger. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lowering down. 5, 4, looking at the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're all the way down. Knees in. Wrap the arms around. Nice little squeeze. Forehead to thigh. Forehead to knees. Head down. Rolling onto the edge of the right hip. Knees come to the floor on the right. Shuffle onto that hip. Then you open up and extend the left arm away from you. And look over to the left. Twist through that middle. Through the navel. Around the waist again. 4, 5. Inhale, knees back to center. Wrap the arms the other way around. Forehead in. Exhale down. Knees to the other side. Breathing there. Extending the right arm away. 4, 5. Knees back. Feet down. Nice star-shaped Savasana. 2. Breathing into those ribs again. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. 3. Inhale through the nose, exhale. 4. And on 5. You can stay there, or you can finish off by bringing the knees into the chest, rolling up to sit. We're back in a nice seated position, taking a moment there. Just let the body settle down. Listen to the gentle, soft and steady heartbeat. Notice that the mind feels quieter, and that in that very, very simple, less than 20 minutes, shaking your body up, getting yourself moving and preparing for the day or whatever you've got happening next. Namaste, everyone. Join me Saturday, the 26th of April, for a live 1-hour session via Zoom. The link, you can buy the link on my website. Details are below. See you there. Once a month, we're going to meet online. Hari Om. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you're doing.